You know, I'm starting to realize why a lot of men don't go to church anymore. And this is why. Where in the Bible does it talk about 50-50? Where in the Bible does it say if you got to do 50-50, you're half of a man? Now, I don't know if you're trying to say women, if you do 50-50, you are 50% a man, or if you're saying men, if you allow no ladies that you with to go 50-50, then you're now 100% of a man. Not 100% sure if you're talking about men or women, or maybe both. But let me ask you this, Miss Pastor Lady. When men do stuff around the house, does that make the woman less than a woman? Does that make the man half a woman when we doing stuff around the house? Because see, the way it always has been, up until like maybe 10 years ago, give or take, the man provide and the woman take care of the home. The man provide the house, go out and work and pay the bills to keep that house, while the woman take care of the house. Yeah. So when the man comes home and he does the dishes, he does the laundry, he vacuums, he sweeps, or whatever the case is, does that make him half a man? Or does that make the woman half a woman? See, it's funny, women only want to talk about one side of the coin. They don't want to go to the other side. They don't want to talk about that narrative. See, this is why a lot of men have stopped going to church right here. You're supposed to be teaching us what's in the Bible. Now, if I missed it, because I could have missed it, I could have. Please tell me where in the Bible does it talk about 50-50? I don't want to hear what you believe, what your interpretations, nothing. No, show me where God said 50-50. You won't find it because it's not in there. And I'm not the one that's going to sit and say, I know everything about the Bible. But you're talking to a man who had to go to church every single day as a kid. My mom and my grandma was super religious. Well, my grandmother's no longer here, but my mom is. So let me word that correctly. But they are super religious. If I did not go to church when I was a kid, I got my ass whooped. Even when I got out of school, I had to go to church. Yeah, I was forced to go to church. I was forced to go to Bible study, prayer meeting, all of these things. If the day ended in white, I was at church. They did not play that when I was a kid. And when I got older, that kind of toned down some, yes. But they didn't play that. And I'm bringing that up to say, yes, I know a lot that's in the Bible. I'm not trying to say I know everything. No. And I'm not going to give no percentage, but I know a lot that's in the Bible. And not once have I ever heard my pastor talk about 50-50. Not once growing up have I ever heard the deacons, the usher board, nobody has ever talked about 50-50. Now you must got a new Bible that was just written, because nobody has ever talked about 50-50. See, if you really want to go deep with it, Pastor, a relationship, a traditional relationship is, yes, the man provides the home, the woman takes care of the home. So when a man comes home and he has to do the I'm putting this in quotes, the woman chores, Does that make him half a man? Does that make him half a woman? Does that make the women half women because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing? So you don't see. It's funny how when most women, I ain't gonna say all women because that's not true, but it's funny how they love to leave that part out when they trying to badmouth men. If I can find it, I'm gonna post it. But I did a video a while back showing that for the past 20 years or so, I forget the exact number, so don't quote me on the numbers, but how these men these days are doing more things around the house, and divorce cases are still high. You want men to do stuff around the house, and you're still leaving them. So it's like, what's the point? What's the point of doing it if you still gonna leave me? I guess I'm just saying this here. Y'all women love to talk crap about men, but you never want to bring up your part in the situation. You never want to talk about what you have attribute to the situation, to the problem. That's what I'm saying. And then you wonder why a lot of these men say, shit, why am I going to church? To be bad-mouthed and to be put down and you know what I'm saying, be looked at a certain way? Why am I going to church? Why am I wasting my time? You're not teaching me nothing that's in the Bible. You're not telling me nothing that's going to get me into the kingdom of heaven. What you're doing is talking about all the craziness that's going on here on earth. So now, if we're going 50-50, we only half a man, or the woman is half man. But you're not talking about if I come home after my hard day of work and I do the dishes, I do the laundry, I make the bed, I vacuum the floors, whatever the case is. You're not calling that woman half a woman because she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. Huh? Oh, let's talk about it, Pastor. Let's talk about it. See, that's the conversation they don't want to have right there. And that's the conversation that they ignore right there. Let's talk about it, Pastor. Come on, Pastor. Since you want to go there, I'm going to guess she's in Jamaica. I'm just guessing because of that flag that's on the wall that you finna go and see right here. Or maybe Puerto Rico because of the other flag. I don't know. I'm just guessing. She didn't sound like she had an accent. I could be wrong. But anyway, why? And we already know that church is 90% filled with women because you're telling women what they want to hear. And what we all have learned, when you tell women what they want to hear, they will attend, they will pay attention to you, and they will support you because you say what you want to hear. But you don't see men telling other men, pastors, preachers, male preachers, pastors, whatever, reverends, deacons, whatever. You don't see them telling men stuff like this because we know that's not true. We're keeping our feelings, our own emotions, we're keeping our own experiences out of it. But women can't do that. They got to put what they go through in every situation, as you can see. So, my question to you again, Miss Pastor Lady, Miss Preacher Lady, if I come home from work for making that money so we can keep this house, so we can keep the lights on, so we can keep food in the house, so my daughter can have the things that she wants, so we can go on our trips and our vacations and blah, blah, blah. If I come home and I still have to cook, I still got to make the bed, clean, sweep, mop, dishes, laundry. I got to do these things. So you trying to tell me my wife is not a woman? Huh? Oh, no, you didn't say that. You only talking crap about the men. Got it.